So this Ugra avatar of Vishnu, we have 24 avatars of Vishnu, of which Narasimha is the most fierce and Ugra avatara. And so we meditate on that Narasimha today, which is one of the 24 avatars of Vishnu, out of which 10 are very prominent, but total 24 are there. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Mrutyum Namamyaham,
Mrutyum Namamyaham,
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Bhikaram Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Bhikaram Bhadram,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Mrutyum Namamyaham.
Mrutyum Namamyaham.
I think all of you have understood this mantra. You have noted down, or you can note down and make it by heart. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Nrusimham Bhikaram Bhadram,
Mrutyum Namamyaham.
Mrutyum Namamyaham.
So we meditated upon Narasimha or Narasimha, who is the death of death and who is so fierce and so fearsome and is spreading flames everywhere, and he destroys all evil forces, and he is meant for the welfare of his devotees and human beings and all bhaktas. So now the Bhakti Yoga in the 12th chapter, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Mute your mics. Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam.
Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam.
Nitya Yukta Upasate.
Nitya Yukta Upasate.
Shraddhaya Parayopeta.
Shraddhaya Parayopetaha.
Te me Yukta Tamamataha.
Te me Yukta Tamamataha.
Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam. That means Ye means those who. Mai Aveshya Manaha, those who have excited their minds in me. Mai means in me. Aveshya is excited with emotional absorption. Avesham toti, ఎవరైతే వాళ్ళ మనస్సులని నాయందు ఉంచుతారో, మనకు ఆవేశం దేని మీద వస్తుంది? కోపం వస్తుంది. ఆవేశం తండ్రి మీద కోపం వస్తుంది, తల్లి మీద కోపం వస్తుంది, భార్య మీద కోపం వస్తుంది, కొడుకు మీద కోపం వస్తుంది, కలీగ్స్ మీద కోపం వస్తుంది, ఆవేశం వస్తుంది. వాటి మీద ఆవేశం వస్తుంది. భగవంతుడి మీద ఆవేశం రాదు మనకి. He is explaining you should have ఆవేశం in bhakti, not on negative emotions. Like excitement, Krishna Chaitanya used to dance on the streets with excitement. So excitement, మై ఆవేశ్య మనో ఏ మాం, నన్ను ఎవరైతే ఆవేశంతో భక్తితో నిత్యయుక్తా, నాన్ స్టాప్, నిత్య మీన్స్ నాన్ స్టాప్, యుక్త మీన్స్ జాయిండ్ ఇన్ యోగా, ఇన్ భక్తి యోగా, upasate, upasistaro, those who perform upasana on me, shraddhaya, with great dedication, paraya, not ordinary shraddha, but para shraddha. Para means transcendental, highest form of shraddha, dedication. Te, those people are my best yogis, best bhaktas. Te me yukta tama, tama means best. Tara tama, tara means like behtar, best. Like yukta tama, the best yuktas, that means yogis for me, in my opinion. Ye tvaksharam anirdesyam.
Ye tvaksharam anirdesyam.
Avyaktam tam paryupasate.
Avyaktam paryupasate.
Sarvatra gamachintyam cha.
Sarvatra gamachintyancha.
Kutaस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्.
Kutastamachalam dhruvam.
कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्.
Kutastamachalam dhruvam. Dhruvam. Yes, sir.
ये तु अक्षरम अनिर्देश्यम. Ye means again those whosoever perform the upasana, upasate on what? Aksharam, indestructible, anirdesyam, undefined, undefinable, unthinkable, avyaktam, manifest. So what it means is, he is explaining Nirguna Parabrahman. Nirguna Parabrahman means it cannot be given any description, any thought, any form, or any kind of detailing. It is not possible. But it is Nirguna Parabrahman, Aksharam Avyaktam. Because the question which Arjuna asked, what was the question Arjuna asked? Among the two categories of bhaktas, those who worship you, those who do upasana on you on one side, and the other who worship or do upasana on Nirguna Tattva, Nirguna Parabrahman. Like some yogis and some sannyasis and some rishis, they perform upasana only on Nirguna Brahman. Is not Krishna, not Rama, nothing of this kind, but Nirguna, qualityless. What about them? Now he is telling about them, those who perform upasana on that, which is Sarvatraga, all pervading, because God is all pervading, and Achintyam, unthinkable, cannot be thought about, and Kutastham, neutral, Achalam, fixed, unmovable. There is a Nirguna Parabrahman. If you want to understand Nirguna Parabrahman from physics point of view, my interpretation is as follows. If you have the physics understanding, the whole universe is made up of, originally in classical physics, 4 items: matter, energy, space, and time. That is the classical physics. 4 fundamental entities, substances: matter, energy, space, and time. You all know that all forms of matter are interconvertible. Matter can be neither created nor destroyed. The law of conservation of matter. Now, energy also, all forms of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy, law of conservation of energy. And space and time, in which the framework of space and time, we have the entire universe, or objects. This is the classical physics or Newtonian physics. What is the relativistic physics of Einstein? In relativistic physics, a great merger has happened. A great development has taken place, where space and time are shown to be non-absolute. They don't exist in reality. They are relatively existing. If you travel at velocity, a particular velocity, your space will be a particular space. And if I travel at a different velocity, my space will be a different space. And if you travel at velocity of light, then space is 0 and time is 0. That is a factor given by root of 1 minus v square by c square, where v is my velocity, c is the velocity of light. As v tends to approach c, this space and time tend to approach 0. If v is equal to c, root of 1 minus v square by c square is 0, and space is 0 and time is 0. If you travel at velocity of light, your space is 0 and time is 0. If you travel at velocity greater than that of light, your space is negative and time is negative. This is the special theory of relativity of Einstein. In philosophical terms, what it means is space and time don't exist in reality. They exist only relatively. So if you remove space and time, we have matter and energy left. So in the general theory of relativity, Einstein gave one more equation called E is equal to mc square. That is, energy and matter are interconvertible. They are not independent. They are both same. In atom bomb, 1 gram of matter is converted into energy, which can destroy a whole city and millions of people can be killed. And energy gets converted into matter also in cosmic rays and other experiments. So which shows that matter and energy are one and the same. They are interconvertible. Though they appear to be different in different forms, they appear in different forms according to the observer. Light, for example, is energy, but it can be observed as particles called photons. In photoelectric effect experiment, if you perform diffraction experiments, light will appear as waves. Similarly, electrons are particles, but they can also appear as waves in electron diffraction experiments. Similarly, X-rays. X-rays, you think they are waves, but they are definitely waves, but they are also particles. And every wave is a particle and every particle is a wave. The dual nature of matter and energy. So E is equal to mc square. That means there is something which is X, which is appearing as matter or as energy. And that is the only truth. And depends on the observer's time-space framework in what form of matter it appears, in what form of energy it appears. So this is the physics perspective, which is the Akshara Parabrahma, that which is appearing in different forms of matter or different forms of energy, is the only truth. And those who perform upasana on that, which is Om, Ye Tvaksharam Anirdesham Avyaktam Paryupasate, Sarvatragam, all pervading, Achintyam, unthinkable, Kutastham, neutral, Achalam, fixed, Dhruvam is also fixed. Sanniyamyendriyagramam
Sanniyamyendriyagramam
Sarvatra Samabuddhayah
Sarvatra Samabuddhayah
Te Prapnuvanti Mameva
Te Prapnuvanti Mameva
Sarvabhutahite Rataah.
Sarvabhutahite Rataah.
Those who perform upasana on the Nirguna Parabrahman, now religions like Islam, Christianity, Judaism also perform upasana on the formless God, but not exactly the Nirguna Parabrahman which we are talking here, which is the essence of matter and energy, but more lesser level of personality, in formless personality. Now, that also is included in this description. And those who perform upasana on that Nirguna Parabrahman, Sat Niyamyendriya Gramam, they control their senses. Sarvatra Samabuddhaya, and they will be equanimous to all beings and all circumstances, in all directions. Te Prapnuvanti Mameva. So the question which Arjuna asked, what about those who perform the upasana or show bhakti on the formless, on the timeless, on the descriptionless, unmanifest, avyaktam, achintyam, all pervading truth, Akshara Parabrahman on one side, and those who perform upasana on you. You means Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna, who has shown the Vishwarupa in the previous chapter, that he is or she, it is or he is everything. He is all forms of gods, all forms of beings, all forms of living beings, non-living beings, all forms of moving and non-moving objects are only his own manifestations. So in the Vishwarupa, he has shown the universal form of his own manifestation. So the question which was asked by Arjuna in 12th chapter is, what is the difference between the two people who, one category who perform upasana on you, the other category who perform upasana on the Akshara Parabrahma, which was described in the 8th chapter. So the answer now is, Te Prapnuvanti Mameva. They also reach me only. That means there are no two categories, there is only one category. Because though it appears as if they are in two categories, as if they are worshipping two different forms, actually they are worshipping the same. Why is it like that? Can anybody answer?
Sir, can it be that the process of your attempts, continuous attempts?
What?
When we say upasana, he will be doing a process of thing regularly in everyday matter. Is that matters?
No. Upasana means meditation and bhakti. You are not understanding the matter. You have to understand clearly. 2 points, once again I am repeating. He has explained his personality of Godhead, Vishnu, Krishna, Narayana, and who is Vishwarupa, and same is described in the Vedas on one side as a personality of Godhead, and second side the impersonal Nirguna Parabrahman, which is Om, and which is Aksharam, Avyaktam, all pervasive, unthinkable, unmanifest, undescribable. So among these two, who is better? The question was by Arjuna. So the answer is, both are same. Both are doing the same thing. So my question to all of you, if you can really think, I don't know whether you are able to understand what I am asking. is how is it possible that both are same? The Nirguna Parabrahman on one side and the personality of Godhead, Narayana, Vishnu, Krishna, who has shown the universal form. Now Krishna is saying both are same. Ite prapnuvanti mameva. The other category also only reach me. It possible. Why is it that both are same? Some of you may be having any answers, you can answer me now by unmuting your mic if you have the answer. If you don't have the answer,
the Krishna believes in equality, and he's also the universal form. So whoever, wherever they worship, it will all go to him.
okay, any other answer? Anybody else?
Is it because of the because as you said that both everything is energy? I guess yeah, I think whoever we do the upasana, ultimately it is going to ultimate energy.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Because
Desai here, sir. Desai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Desai.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
It's been nice. I think I can only think of that even Vishwarupa is only a manifestation as perceived by Arjuna, because he has just shown at that particular point in time, but doesn't necessarily mean that that is the only shape or only form. So that's where he's trying to say that even Nirguna, or
Yes.
as you believe what this form is, both are same. Ultimate truth is that I am everywhere.
Yes. Anybody else?
yes, maybe God is one, so everything goes to him only.
Yes. Anybody else? Okay. If nobody else is there, again, once again, actually it is one and the same, whether it is manifest or unmanifest. Because he has told in the 8th chapter, Avyaktat Vyaktaya Sarva Prabhavancha Haragame. All the manifest forms of universe are getting created from the unmanifest at the time of creation, the beginning of creation, Big Bang. And again, at the end of creation, they all go back into the unmanifest. So what is this manifest universe? Manifest universe is nothing but the manifestation of the unmanifest reality. So if you perform upasana on unmanifest reality, it is the same thing. You are saying, if you are performing upasana on the Vishwarupa, which is manifest, both are same. It is like saying, I will perform upasana on Rama, I will perform upasana on Krishna, I will perform upasana on Narasimha. All are finally Vishnu only. So it doesn't matter, only the window is different. So in fact, this logic can be applied to other devatas also, like Shiva. Now everybody says, I am worshipping Shiva, or say Allah, I am worshipping Allah, or I am worshipping Jehovah. No, how can they be different? Because they themselves are telling there is only one, and that is that. Sayekaha. Veda itself says there is only one. And in the Vishnu Sahasranama, there are 1,000 names. And Muslims also say God is only one. If God is only one, how can you say Shiva is different, Vishnu is different, and Brahman is different, Saguna Brahman is different, Nirguna Brahman is different, Allah is different, Jehovah is different? How can you say that? The names may be different, the languages may be different, the formats may be different, the descriptions may be different, the windows may be different. If you take the physics window, I gave you the physics window. Finally, it is that which is both matter and energy. It is neither matter nor energy, but it is also matter and energy. There is some X which is manifesting in different forms. So matter in different form, energy. That is avyakta. The moment it is manifest, it is vyakta. So the manifest universe is the Vishwarupa. The entire manifest universe is one unit. The unmanifest is also the same. The unmanifest is manifesting as manifest. But now the only difference is which is difficult, which is easier. It depends on the person. It depends on the attitude, aptitude, and preferences. Some people prefer Krishna as a child, Balakrishna. Some people prefer Krishna as a lover in Vrindavan. Some people prefer Krishna as a statesman. And some people prefer Krishna as Vishwarupa. So it depends on whom you prefer. And some people prefer Akshara Nirguna Parabrahma, Om. Who prefer such things? Only very great Munis, Rishis and Yogis who don't want even to use their mind to have any description of anything. Klesho adhikatarak tesham.
क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम्
Avyakta sakta chetasam.
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
Avyakta hi gatir dukkham.
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
Dehavadbhiravapyate.
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
Now what he's saying is kleshaha adhikataraha tesham avyakta asakta chetasam. Those who have a mind of meditating upon the avyakta, the unmanifest Brahman, and asakta, detached, unattached, such people will have greater difficulty. Klesho adhikatarak tesha. Klesha means pain, difficult. Avyakta asakta chetasam. Avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhir avapyate. The stage of reaching avyakta is having greater pain and misery to reach that stage. He's not saying it is wrong. For whom? For dehavadbhihi, for those who have a body. People who have a body, like you and me, they find it difficult to meditate or perform upasana or develop bhakti on something which has no body, which has no form, which has no description, which cannot be thought about, which cannot be meditated upon, which cannot be explained or described in any manner. That is why some descriptions are being given for the benefit of meditation. So a lot of people misunderstand that when Hindus go to the temple, they are worshipping an idol of Rama or Krishna. It is not true. They are not worshipping that idol, though it appears like that. Like when you go to the airport, you show your ID card. If you tell that, no, I am the original person, why are you looking at my ID card? He says, no, I am not interested in you. I am interested in your ID card. So the ID card is the idol. The idol is becoming more important than the original. Why? Because there is an authentication, there is an authority, there is a proof. So similarly, in the case of idol worship also, the person who is looking at the idol is not thinking that he is worshipping a stone. He is thinking he is worshipping Vishnu, he is worshipping Shiva, he is worshipping God, he is worshipping Allah. The same Allah which is being worshipped by those who have formless worship. In fact, Tipu Sultan, who has destroyed many temples, after reaching the temple in Guruvayur, at that time it is reported that he realized that Krishna or Vishnu in the Guruvayur temple is exactly the same, if not this one and the same as his own God Allah. Therefore, he stopped destroying temples. He realized that at that point of time, after reaching, not before reaching. So why I'm telling, I'm not interested in politics, but what I'm trying to tell is it depends on what perception you have. A Hindu devotee who is going to Rama's temple, he is not worshipping an idol of Rama, but he is worshipping Rama, but he is not worshipping a human being Rama, but he is worshipping the avatar of Vishnu, who is Vishwarupa, who is Nirguna Parabrahman. So, in fact, Rama Brahman, that is one of the names. Rama is Brahman. And so also Krishna, so also Parashurama, so also Buddha, so also so many other avatars, 24 avatars are. Kapila. So many 24 avatars are there. So avatars are only strong manifestations of Lord. In other chapters, he has also explained other manifestations which he has. He said, I am Arjuna among Pandavas and I am Krishna among Vrishni Kulas, descendants. So these are all manifestations of the same supreme reality which is transcendental, which is nirguna also and saguna also. Because without nirguna, there cannot be any saguna. So, yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyastya matparaha. Okay, having finished that answer to that question, what he has established is the universality of Godhead, the infinite possibilities of perception, of windows. You can have a window as knowledge, which is Saraswati. You can have a window as wealth and 8 kinds of wealth, which is Lakshmi, and a window of Kriya Shakti of Durga, or you can have a window of Shiva, which is much bigger window, or you can have a window of Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana or Nirguna Parabrahman. All are valid at the same time. They are not they are not complete. It is not possible to have a complete perception because all are windows only. If you say Saraswati, you have only the window of knowledge. You cannot have the window of wealth, and you cannot have window of power of action, and you cannot window of all other devatas. So every devata is having one particular limited scope. The avatars are having higher scopes. Among the avatars also, Krishna is Purna Avatara is highest scope. So finally, even if you go beyond all this and reach the Vishwarupa level, if you want to perform Upasana on the Vishwarupa, then you still have the Nirguna Parabrahman, which is the unmanifest original source of the Vishwarupa. All are same. So it is being infinite in nature. Any form of finite description will be incomplete. So nobody can claim that I have complete understanding. Because first of all, as Ramakrishna Paramhamsa said, if a crystal of salt went to measure the depth of the ocean, will it come back? It will melt by itself. It is lost in it. So you are lost in God. You can never come back and say God is like this or God is like that. It is infinite, eternal. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Truth, infinite, eternal. So whatever perception you may have for your own benefit, you may think as Krishna as Balakrishna who is playing with you. Or you may think Krishna as a lover who is playing with other lovers. And you may think Krishna is a warrior who is killing enemies. Or you may think Krishna is the kingmaker who has conducted the Mahabharata war and established Yudhishthira as the emperor for the next generation, the Kali Yuga to come. So you can think in any way. All these are limited windows. So the unlimited is infinite and eternal. But whosoever, now he is telling about the bhaktas, whosoever in whatever form, because in the other chapters, in 9th chapter and other chapters also, he made it very clear, ye yo yam yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architam ichchati tasya tasya achalam shraddham tam eva dadamyaham. Depending on whichever form, whichever dedication, in the same way I will respond. And depending on, like, for example, the Sikhs, they put a symbol of Ek Om. 1 Om they will write, Ek Omkar. And they will put Guru Nanak along with it. Now I want to ask, how many people who think Ek Omkar are able to understand Omkar? Omkar cannot be understood. It is Nirguna Parabrahman. So you create one religion out of it, one sect out of it, and one guru attached to it. Okay, you can do all that. But it's again a limited perception of the individual concerned. The individual Sikh, can he understand Nirguna Parabrahman, which is infinite and eternal? Is it possible? He will try. There's nothing wrong. It's a window. Similarly, other forms of gods, goddesses, Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, or even other non-Hindu definitions, all will be merged into the ultimate definition of infinite eternal. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And whosoever performs devotion, bhakti on any form of such God is going ultimately the same. In fact, in his speech in Chicago, Swami Vivekananda made this point very clear. And that is why he was appreciated a lot more than all others. All other speakers declared that except their own religious path, all other religious paths are fake and false and wrong. But it was only Vivekananda who declared, by quoting Shiva Mahimna Stotra, where it said that 1,000 different streams of rivers and rivulets and go and finally join the same ocean. In the same way, O Lord, all different methods of upasana finally join you only. So now, ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyastya matparaha. Those who give up all actions in me, sanyastya, renunciate all karmas into me, matparaha, and they get absorbed in me. Ananyenaiva yogena, with a yoga or a joining process, which is ananya. That means that which is one without a second. If you say, okay, I'll meditate and bhakti, upasana on God only for say 5 minutes or only for say half an hour, and all the rest of the time I'll be meditating and doing upasana of money, of liquor, of business, of children, of car, of servants, of war, of all kinds of nonsense, which is what we are doing, then it is not true bhakti. According to Lord Krishna, ananyenaiva yogena. Ananya, one without a second. Anya means other one. Ananya is one without a second. Another one. Those who meditate completely absorbed in me, ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta. Those who do dhyana on me, upasate, upasana. Upasana has many meanings. Upasana can mean japam, upasana can mean sahasranam, upasana can mean kirtan, bhajan, or it can mean puja, or it can mean chanting, it can mean meditation, it can mean many things. In fact, there is a whole textbook called Narada Bhakti Sutras, where Narada has explained 9 types of bhakti. What is bhakti? What is prema? The word prema is not used in Bhagavad Gita. Rarely it is used, but in Bhakti Sutras, it is starting with that. What is love? Whom do you love? And why do you love? And what is love and how much love? So, infinite eternal love is the para bhakti. So, a lot of people who are highly intellectuals and theoreticians and academicians, they condemn bhakti as if it doesn't exist, which is not true. Bhakti is the ultimate power of emotion, of absorption of the individual in the Supreme. So this chapter, 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga. It is emphasizing the power of bhakti. In fact, in the previous chapter also he has said, Bhaktya labhyastu ananyaya. Without bhakti, you cannot reach me. Bhakti is commitment, dedication, submission, kainkaryam, and Sharanagati. So the word Islam itself means Sharanagati. A lot of people don't understand this. Let alone Muslims, even non-Muslims don't understand this. Sharanagati, Kainkaryam. In fact, Ramanujacharya gave that Kainkaryam theory of Visishtadvaita, complete dedication, sublimation, submission and sublimation, absorption in God. Like Mirabai said, Prabhuji, tu Chandan my Pani. When Chandan and Pani are merged, they are merged into one. You cannot distinguish Pani from Chandan. So it is the elevation of the individual consciousness to the cosmic consciousness, merging into it. There's a process that is yoga, bhakti yoga. So teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagara. Those who perform that kind of upasana, who yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyastya, having given up, having renunciated all your actions unto me, not stopping those actions, but dedicating them to me, ananyenaiva yogena, one without a second, ananya. It's such a kind of bhakti yoga. If you perform meditation on me, dhyayan upasate, then tesham aham, such people only such people, aham samudharta, I will be liberating them. Mrityu samsara sagarat. From what? From this mrityu samsara sagara. We are all living in the ocean of the world of death. You just open the TV and see, so many people died, so many people died, so many people died. It's the ocean of death. We are living in the world of death. Martya loka, mrityu samsara sagara, an ocean of death, ocean of world of death. So I will liberate you from that only if you are performing upasana with ananya bhakti. Bhavamina chirat partha mai aveshita chetasam. Whom shall I liberate? Mai aveshita chetasam. Those who have avesha, excitement, emotion in me, in absorption in me, excitement and emotion in making money, or abusing others, shouting at others, getting angry, abusing parents, abusing brothers, abusing wife. That is not the excitement he's talking about. Aveshya, mai aveshita chetasam. Avesha, excitement in me, in God. Like Krishna Chaitanya used to dance on the streets and all people followed him. I went to his birthplace in Mayapur, and even the rickshawalas were highly devoted there. They also have mantra upasana, japa. They have taken, Upadesha. Everybody, if you go to our Mathura Vrindavan, the rickshawalas will say Radhe Radhe. They will not put horns or they will not put bells, ring bells. If you lift the phone, it will be said Radhe Radhe. Everything is Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. There is a tremendous wave of absorption of bhakti in those places. And those people who live there and those similar people who live in our houses, I have seen great bhaktas who are living in cities. ISKCON is doing a great job by promoting devotees, devotion, and depends on the individual completely. It is not the organizational aspect. Organizations can only try to propagate Ramakrishna Mission, Chinmaya Mission, Divine Life Society, ISKCON. So many organizations are there. Arsha Vidyapit. They are all trying their level best. But it all depends on the individual finally. I attended Ramakrishna Math for 40 years. Now, if I continue to attend 40 years, then what is that I have learned? Now I am able to teach also. A lot of people attend without understanding anything. If there is some understanding, it will have impact on them. They will transform themselves. Teshamaham samudhatta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat. When will you liberate me? If you ask, nachirat, not too long. Ardha mai aveshita chetasam. Only those who have their chetasa, minds, aveshita mai, in me, excited and absorbed. Not everybody. Everybody who has lip service kind of devotion, and those who criticize devotion, those who don't want to be devoted, those who will say we are devoted but they are fake devotees. They are people who, most of the people are devoted to their worldly lives. They are not devoted to God. If you go and ask people in Tirupati standing in the queue, why are you coming here? They will say, I am coming here for getting a job for my son. I am coming here for getting my daughter married. I am coming here to get a lottery ticket. I am getting here to win the elections. Nobody will say I am coming here to merge in God. Nobody will say I am coming to get liberated. There was one great devotee who wanted to go to Puri. And he tried and tried. He was very poor in a very remote village. So somebody asked him, what will you do after going there? When will you come back? He says, what coming back you are talking? I am going to get completely absorbed, completely lost. Absorbed in Lord. So these holy places are created for people to get absorbed in Lord. That is Parabhakti. And Bhakti is not intellectual. And the gopis, for example, in Vrindavan, they were the greatest bhaktas. They were rishis who were incarnated as gopis. And they didn't read any books. They cannot give any lectures. In fact, when Akrura takes a letter from Krishna to gopis, after Krishna left Vrindavan, long back, then they tear that letter into small pieces and see whether Krishna is there in each piece. They didn't want to read any letters. They are not interested. They are highly devotionally, emotionally involved in Krishna. Radha also, though she was living in Vrindavan after Krishna left Vrindavan, she was always living in the heart of Krishna. And Mirabai, in modern times, she has disappeared from the left corner in front of the Dwarkadish idol in Dwarkadish temple. And so also Andal disappeared in the left corner of Srirangam temple. So they are all extraordinary devotees. So much so Andal has been, Goda Devi Andal has been elevated to the level of the consort of Krishna, and Srivilliputturu, she is equated along with Krishna. That much is her greatness. So he's talking of such people. Mayeva manadhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya. Keep your mind fixed on me. Mayeva, mayi eva mana adhatsva. Means fixed in me. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Keep your mic. Sound is come. Keep your intellect in me. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivasishyasi mayyeva. If you do that, you will live in me. Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Very high level, no doubt. So all such people, the proof of this statement are the people like Prahlada, Dhruva, Narada, and Tyagaraja, or Ramadas, or Mirabai, Andal. So many people are the proofs for this. Next. Atha chittam samadhatum.
Atha chittam samadhatum.
Asaknosi mayi sthiram.
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय.
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय.
Please mute your mics. It's a lot of noise is coming. In the previous sloka, he has said, he has explained the highest level of bhakti, the top level of bhakti, para bhakti, absorption in Lord, absorption in God. If you are always like that, then you are liberated. You are in God. How many of you can be in like that? Raise your hands and tell me. Yes or no? If you can say that you will be like that, then you can mute your mic and tell me, yes, sir, I will be like that. How many of you can be like that? Always. Nobody is unmuting their mics. That means nobody can be in that state. Only Mirabai was like that, or Andal was like that, or Prahlada was like that, Tyagaraja was like that, Ramadas was like that. They are what are called Mahabhaktas and Paramabhaktas. Anjaneya was like that. Vibhishana was like that. Guha, Bharata, all these people were Mahabhaktas. Now, he knows, the Lord knows that you cannot be like that. So he is giving the next option. Topmost he has already told. Now he is giving the second next. Atha chittam samadhatum nasaknoshi mayi sthiram. In case you cannot fix your mind on me, because in the last he said you should always fix your mind on me. In case you cannot fix your mind on me, atha chittam samadhatum, in samadhi, in deep meditation, nasaknoshi, आपके पास आपका शक्ति नहीं है, आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. Mayi sthiram, fixed in me. Then what should you do? Second option he has given, abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptum dhananjaya. Practice that. Practice meditation. You practice the same level every day, morning, evening, after, whenever you want to. That is called puja, that is called upasana, that is called kirtana, that is called japa, so many forms. You practice that for a particular time. Abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptum dhanam. अभ्यास करो. नए उस लेवल पे, उस स्थिति पे नहीं आ सक रहे तो अब अभ्यास करो. नेक्स्ट, अभ्यासे प्यसमर्थोसि. अभ्यासे असमर्थोसि.
अभ्यासे अप्यसमर्थोऽसि.
अभ्यासे अपि असमर्थोसि. मत्कर्म परमो भव.
मत्कर्म परमो भव.
मत्कर्म परमो भव.
मत्कर्म परमो भव.
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि.
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि.
Abhyasepi first he has given the top category, those who are always absorbed in the Lord. Second, he has given second category, those who cannot reach first category, they will perform puja or upasana or japa or meditation by abhyas again and again and again. Morning, evening, afternoon, night, whenever and wherever possible. So for that purpose, so many temples are constructed, or so many prayer halls are constructed. Even other religions have their own prayer halls and temples or mosques or masjids, etc., gurudwaras, etc., etc., etc. All meant for giving an opportunity for practicing this, going there and fixing your mind on God. Supposing you say you are third category, you cannot even do that. You cannot practice meditation, you cannot do bhajan, you cannot do japam, you cannot do prayer, you cannot go to a temple, you cannot go to any place of worship, because you are in a coronavirus quarantine, you cannot go out. Then what will you do? What is the third category? I mean, you can sit at home in coronavirus and meditate. But if somebody says, I cannot even meditate, I'm getting disturbed by my people around me with TV and with everything, I cannot even concentrate. Then he has given the third option, Abhyasepi asamardhosi. You are asamarth. for abhyas also, in case mat karma paramo bhava, do everything for me. Madardham api karmani kurvan siddhi mohapsis. Whatever you are doing, you do for me. Service to the Lord. You know, this seva, kar seva, charity, generosity. You serve the humanity, you serve the people, you serve the weak people, you serve the poor and backward and so on and so forth. So whatever actions you are doing, you do for me. Because if you say, what about my studies? If you say, Ishvara, Ishana Sarva Vidyanam, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. You should understand that all knowledge is from God and all beings, living beings, non-living beings are from God. So once you realize that whatever you are doing, he is doing a puja. You are doing a dedication to Lord. Krishna Arpanam. Yat karosh yadashnas yat juhosh dadasyat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. In the previous chapters, he has said this. Whatever you are doing, yat karosh yadashnas, whatever you are eating, yat juhosh, whatever ahuti you are giving in the yajnas, dadasyat, whatever charity you are giving, yat kurushyasi kaunteya, whatever actions you are doing, tat kurushva madarpanam, you dedicate all those actions to me. Krishna Arpanam, Brahma Arpanam, Brahmavir, Brahmagno Brahma. Athaitamasya shaktosi, athaitadasya shaktosi.
अथैतदप्य शक्तो असि
Kartum madyogamashritaha,
कर्तुं मध्योगमाश्रितः
sarvakarma phalatyagam,
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
tatah kuru yatatmavan.
कुरु यतात्मवान्.
Atah kuru yatatmavan. Now the fourth category is also being described. What are those fourth category people? Who don't even believe in God, any God. Neither they believe in God, Krishna, Rama, Vishnu, Narayana, Shiva, Allah, Jehovah, nothing. They are just workers. They don't want to talk about God. They may be against God, or they may be atheists, or they may be just agnostics or skeptics who are not interested in God. What about them? For them also he has given the fourth option. Adhai samapya shaktosi kartumadyogam ashritaha. If you think you are ashakt, आपके पास शक्ति नहीं है, किस लिए? मेरा योग को उपासना करने, मतलब मेरे लिए सब काम करने के लिए, मेरे लिए अर्पण, कृष्णा अर्पणम. Every action you do to perform dedicated to me. If you are not able to do that also, because first of all you don't believe in me, secondly you are not in a position to dedicate, then what do you do? He has given the fourth option. Sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuryata. He gave the karma yoga option. In karma yoga, you are supposed to be detached from the results of the actions, not from the actions. Karma, sarva karma phalatyagam. Obsession, attachment to the result of your action. It need not be dedication to God. It can be just detachment. So like a student who is studying for IIT, it is obsessed with the result. All the time, he'll be thinking, will I get selected or not? Will I get selected or not? Will I get selected or not? Then he will never be even study, put the efforts to solve the mathematics problems and physics problems which is given to be solved. So you should not think about the result. You should think about the work in hand. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. You should only focus and dedicate yourself with concentration on the work on hand. You should not think about the consequences later. If you start thinking all the time about the consequences later, you will not be able to concentrate and do justice to your work on hand. So when you do justice to your work on hand, when you do it perfectly, then automatically results will come. Whether the results will come according to your liking or somebody else's liking is a different story. When you do PhD, when you have done research, when you have written papers, automatically PhD will come to you. But it's not the case in competitive examinations. In competitive examinations, there are 5 lakh people who are writing the same exam and who are preparing equally good, and only 5,000 people will be selected. All the 4,50,000 people will be rejected. That does not mean you have done wrong or you have not done your duty or you are a failure. Who will be rejected, who will be accepted depends on so many factors. Luck, for example, or the mood, or the circumstances. So many factors are involved. So you should be doing your duty perfectly without getting obsessed with the result. That is karma yoga. So sarvakarma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. Now, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat.
Jnana dhyanam visishyate.
Jnana dhyanam vishishyate.
Dhyanat karma phalatyagah.
Dhyanat karma phalatyagah.
Yagat shantiranantaram.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Now, what it means is, which is better than which? Shreyo, Shreyaha, greater, better. Jnanam, he means very well. Jnana is greater than Abhyasa. You go on doing Abhyasa, because he has told you meditate on God, oh God, pray, prayer, bhajan, kirtan. That is an Abhyasa process. But Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. He has said it in the 4th chapter. All karmas will end in jnana only. So therefore, jnana is supreme. Jnana is superior than karma, which is abhyas. And jnana dhyanam visishyate. And simply theoretical knowledge is not adequate. Shravana, manana, nididhyasa, 3 types of involvements are involved. Shravana is listening or knowing or reading. Manana is repeating again and again and again within yourself. And nididhyasa, which is deep contemplation on that. Now, this process, the 3 processes will lead to maturity of evolution into the level of real jnana. So, jnana dhyanam visishyate. Dhyana is nididhyasana. Along with jnana, dhyanat karma phalatyagaha. And having reached the 3 levels of maturity, then you will have the ability to be a karma yogi. I told you many times, karma yogi is nothing but a mature person, like an old man who is trying to play cricket with small children. So when he plays cricket, he has no attachment to the results of the cricket match, that runs or the wickets, etc., etc. He will play just for fun, just without attachment. Whereas the children involved are playing with attachment. They are obsessed with the runs. They are obsessed with the winning or not winning or wickets, etc., etc. So a mature person will play his role in his life without an obsession and attachment of an ordinary person. That is the difference between Krishna and others in the Mahabharata war. Krishna conducted the war. Krishna played the war. Krishna ensured the result of the war. But he has no role in it. He has no attachment. Others like Arjuna, all were attached. They were involved. They were deeply in. Krishna is not. So that is the Karma Yoga. That is what he is explaining. When you have reached that stage of maturity level through jnana, through abhyasa, through dhyana, and all finally leading to detachment from the karma phala, which is mature way of acting in this world, then you will get peace. Tyagat shantiranantaram. Otherwise, you will not get peace. Shanti. Peace is the most difficult thing. You may get money, you may get power, you may get wealth, you may get properties, you may get degrees, you may get jobs, you may get children, you may get family, you may get grandchildren, but do you have peace? Peace is very difficult. If you have peace, you get all this, you will enjoy it. If you don't have peace, all this will not allow you to enjoy your life. Shantamuleka saukhyamuledu. Now he is explaining how the behavior of a person should be. Adveshtha sarva bhutanam.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam.
Maitra karuna evacha.
Maitra karuna evacha.
Nirmamo nirahankaraha.
Nirmamo nirahankaraha.
Sama dukkha sukha kshami.
Sama dukkha sukha kshami.
Adveshtha sarva bhutanam. First point. No hatred. Dvesha means hatred. Adveshtha sarva bhutanam. If you are a religious person, if you are a philosophical person, put the mic on mute. If you are a spiritual person, or if you are a philosophical person, or if you are a religious person, you will not hate anybody. Adveshtha sarvabhutanam. Sarvabhutanam. All entities in this universe. Adveshtha. Non-hatred. That means love. When there is no hatred, there has to be love. Maitraha. Friendship. Without hatred, what will come? Friendship will come. Karuna evacha, compassion will come. Nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. The two problems, ahankara and mamkara. The biggest problem in this world is ahankara. Egoism. Not ordinary ahankara saying that one of the tanmatras. It is not that ahankara. We are talking of big ahankaras. Like Duryodhana's ahankara, Ravana's ahankara. Arrogance. I am great. Who are you? You are nothing. I am the greatest. So this kind of an attitude for any person, whether he is a guru, or whether he is a shishya, or whether he is a king, or whether he is a praja, whether he is a businessman, whosoever, if he thinks that he is very great and all others are low in front of him, then he is finished. In fact, there is a story of Narada. Narada is one of the greatest bhaktas. And Narada one day became arrogant. Oh, I am the greatest bhakta. I am always chanting Narayana, 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 and Narayana is in me always. And all others are useless. So he started thinking like this. The moment he thought like that, that day he happened to be with Krishna. So Krishna took him for a walk on the banks of the river. And Narada said, I will take a bath and come. All right, he went inside. The moment he went inside, Vishnu Maya, Krishna's Maya started acting. He started identifying himself that he is going in a forest. He went and lost himself into a camp of tribals there, huts. And then he got fainted there. He was rescued. He was given food, water, shelter, clothing. And he was made to recover. And then he fell in love with a woman there. Her name was Maya. And then he got children out of her. And those children were large in number. And all these people, the tribals and the wife and children had no idea who was Narada. They didn't know that he was a great bhakta, great knowledge expert. So they started making fun of him. They are making mischief with him. And one day a big famine came and everybody started dying. And then he also started seeing his family dying. Then there was a big fire and then all started dying. And then he was shouting. Suddenly he woke up. And Krishna said, oh Narada, come up out of the water. Then he realized all that was Maya, like a dream. So anybody can be falling prey into the Maya because of ahankara and mamakara. So nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami. Samadukha in sorrow and happiness, to have the capability to be equal. It's a very profound concept. How is it possible to be equal in sorrow and success? Of course, when you get success, you will feel happy, people will congratulate you. But if you start thinking you have achieved something very great, you are mistaken. The next moment you can lose it. Like in a private company job, you may become the managing director, you may become something. But next moment you can lose it. The boss will call you and say, get lost, finished. You can't do anything. So you have no right to become arrogant or feel great that you got something. Or at the same time, when somebody loses a job, or somebody's PhD is in problem, or somebody's studies are in problem, if he loses his confidence, then he'll never be able to salvage himself out of that grave situation. He has to have self-confidence, he has to have commitment, he has to have fighting spirit to fight out and come out of a grave crisis like we are facing today, Corona crisis. If you get dejected, if you get depressed, अरे हमसे नहीं होगा, मर जाएंगे, चलो अब सब मर जाएंगे, let us all die, then everybody will die, nobody will believe it. So you should have the positive confidence of the spirit of fighting like the Pandavas had, and they won finally what is impossible. So I have seen in life, my own life and my own family members' life and others' lives, when impossible, difficult, dire consequences situations exist. In my own childhood, impossible situation. When my father died, his dead body is in front of me. I was 14 years. I didn't have even single paisa with me. That was the situation I faced. But miracles do happen, as Lord has said in the last chapter. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Those who are always linked to me, I will take care of them. That pratigna, that swearing of oath he has done. Santushtas satatam yogi.
Santushtat satatam yogi.
Yatatma drudhanischayah.
Yatatma drudhanischayah.
Mayarpitam mano buddhihi.
Mayyarpitamano buddhihi.
Yo me bhaktas same priyah.
Yo me bhakta same priyaha.
Santushtas satatam yogi is now describing more positive qualities of a yogi or a bhakta who is happy always. In Yamaniyamas, we have Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha are the 5 yamas. And what are the 5 niyamas? You tell me. Anybody? What are the 5 niyamas?
Yama.
Yamar 5. Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Astaya, Aparigraha. What about niyama?
शौच संतोष
संतोष
स्वाध्याय ईश्वर नियमाः.
Correct. So now he is talking of Santosha. Santosha, everybody is wondering, what is this Santosha? Santosha is being happy, satisfied. So he is telling about the Santushta Satatam Yogi. Santushta Satatam Yogi. A yogi who is always happy, like a small child is always happy. Yatatma Drudhanischayah. He who has controlled himself. Yata Atma. Who has controlled himself with fixed determination. A person with fixed determination will always be happy. He is not going to be affected by negative situations or problematic situations. Mayarpita mano buddhihi. He who has dedicated Mayi arpita manaha buddhihi. Manas and buddhi. What is the difference between manas and buddhi? Buddhi is intellect, higher mind. Manas is lower mind. This is just performing analysis of the signals coming out of the indriyas. Determination, decision, conclusion, research, scientific discovery is all by buddhi. Mayarpita mano buddhi. He who has dedicated his buddhi also and manas also to me. Madbhaktaha, such a bhakta for me. Same priyaha. He is my beloved bhakta. Next. Yasmano dvijate loko.
Yasmano dvijate lokaha.
Lokanno dvijate chayaha.
Lokanno dvijate chayaha.
Bhavayodvegaihi.
Harshamarshya bhavayodvaigaihi. Dvegaihi.
Harsha bhavayodvegaihi.
Harsha amarshya bhayodvegaihi.
Muktaha yassa cha me priyaha.
To yas sacha me priyaha.
Okay, mute your mic. Who else is my beloved devotee? Yasmat na udvijate lokaha. Lokad na udvijate chayaha. It's a very important statement. He who will not be excited by the world. Loka is the world outside. If the world is going to excite you, then you are going to be a failure. And if you are going to excite the world also, you are going to be a failure. Because you should not be a person who creates a problem for the people around you. Yasmat na udvijate lokaha, lokad na udvijate chayaha. He who will not become a big problem for the society around him, and he who will not be taking the society around him as a problem. If somebody starts feeling that his own mother is a problem for him, his own father is a problem for him, his own wife is a problem for him, his children are a problem for him, his brothers are a problem for him, his neighbors are a problem for him, then what will happen? He will be in a miserable condition and he is in a state of war with everybody. War is always going to lead to misery, nothing else. Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayaha. And vice versa. The people around you should not feel that you are a big problem for them. Your neighbors, your father, your mother, your brother, your wife, your children, if they start feeling that you are a big problem for them, then it's a very difficult situation. So he's talking of a bhakta who is not a problem for others and who will not find others as a problem for him. How is it possible? He has to work out such a situation. There is a very interesting question. Is this village good village? He said, if your mouth is good, this village is also good. Others will behave with you exactly in reciprocation of what you behave with them. So if you are a problem creator, then others also will create problems for you. If you are a problem solver or if you are a good person with positive attitude, others also will have positive attitude and behave good with you. Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayah, harsha marsha bhayodvegair muktaha. He who is liberated from muktaha, from what? Harsha, amarsha, bhaya, udvega. Bhaya is fear, udvega is excitement, and harsha is too much of excitement of happiness, amarsha is too much of depression out of sorrow. So a person who is freed from depression, excitement of elation or fear or too much of emotional excitement, such a bhakta is my priya, is my beloved. Next. Anapekshaha shuchir daksha.
Anapekshah suchir dakshaha.
Udasino gatavyadha.
Udasino gatavyaha.
Udasino gatavyadha.
Udasino gatavyadah.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Yo me bhakta same priyaha.
Yo me bhakta same priyaha.
And who has other devotees beloved for me? He who will be anapekshaha, he will not be biased. Shuchihi, pure. In the Shaucha Santosha Tapaswadhyaya Isra Pranidhana, Shuchi, Shaucha is there. Shuchi is being told here. Anapekshaha, Shuchihi, Daksha. What does the word Daksha mean? Means attentive, capable, capability. So Lord Krishna is not expecting his bhaktas to be incapable nincompoops. He is not expecting them to be like that. He is expecting people to be capable, like Arjuna. He is a very capable person who can achieve things, who can achieve life objectives, who can achieve the discharging of his duties. It is not easy. Every man has got duties towards the parents who gave him birth and who brought them up. He has got duties and responsibilities towards parents. He has got duties and responsibilities towards wife or husband. He has got duties and responsibilities towards children. In my life of 66 years, I can happily say with my hand on my heart that I have discharged all my responsibilities successfully, even at the cost of my own benefit or my own progress. So it is very difficult to reach that stage. It is very easy to escape from responsibilities or failure in responsibilities or spoil the situations, damage the relationships. It is very difficult to maintain those relationships to the level of success on the parents, on the family members like wife and husband and children, or other relatives like brothers and sisters, or even cousins, other relatives. There is a duty for everybody and responsibility towards that person. So, like for example, in a crisis like this, people are calling each other and talking. Even my childhood friends are talking to each other. After a long time, after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they feel a sense of responsibility. So, That is what he is saying. Dakshaha, capability. If you have gone to a particular situation, a particular country, or a particular job, or a particular crisis situation like we are entering today, if you are a capable manager, like Narendra Modi is managing capably, that is called Daksha. Anapeksha Suchihi, pure, Daksha, capable, Udasina Gatavyathaha. Udasina is not upset, not worried. Gatavyathaha, not worried, doesn't get worried. If suppose Narendra Modi starts getting worried every day and depressed, and he cannot be Daksha, he cannot discharge his responsibilities, then the whole country will go to dogs. It is such a difficult situation. Like in America, Trump, and in the initial stages, he took it lightly. He took it, he blew it up. Lakhs of people started dying. In India, it didn't happen. Your capability comes into picture. Your maturity, your capability, your worth. And sarvarambha parityagi yo me bhaktas same priyaha. Arambhas means all too much of bombasting kind of blasting situations he will avoid. He'll be daksha and mature. Yona hrishyati nadveshti. Yona hrishyati nadveshti na shochati na kankshati.
यो न पुष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
Shubha parityagi.
शुभाशुभ परित्यागी
Bhaktiman yas same priyaha.
भक्तिमान यः स मे प्रियः.
He is talking of dualities, of extremes. It does not mean you will never feel happy or you will never feel depressed. What he is talking is equanimity. Samadukha sukha swastha samalosthashma kanchana. Yes, said it in 6th chapter, 7th chapter, everywhere. How to be equanimous. So equanimity in happiness, equanimity in depression or sorrow, equanimity in desires, equanimity in plans, and samashatrau cha mitre cha. Next.
समशत्रौ च मित्रे च
Tatha manapamanayoh.
तथा मानापमानयोः
Sitoshna sukha dukkheshu.
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु
Samasanga vivarjitaha.
तमः सङ्गविवर्जितः
Tulya nindastu tirmauni.
तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी
Santushto yena kenachit.
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
Aniketa sthiramatihi.
अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः
Bhaktiman yassame. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha.
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
Okay, now these two slokas, mute your mic. They are talking about being equanimous to enemies and friends. How is it possible? And being equanimous to mana and apamana, to praise and condemnation. And being equanimous with cold and heat. Being equanimous with sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain. And he has used the word sangavarjitaha, detachment. Sangha is attachment, vivarjita is removed attachment. Samaha. He always kept saying samaha, samaha, samaha. Samaha means equanimous. How is it possible to be equanimous in all these opposite situations? It is possible only for a advanced, mature personality. Like, say, Yudhishthir or Bhishma or Krishna or Rama. For example, Rama, you all know that next morning his coronation was planned at Rajabhishek, and suddenly he will be told to go to the forest, giving up everything. He said, all right. He went away. He didn't even say one word. In my own case, I was to be made Director General on 31st October 2013. Something else happened. I didn't say one word to that person. Of course, I fought a case in the court. I won. Finally, I became director general after a lot of fighting. What I'm saying is, things happen like this coronavirus. Nobody expected it will happen like this. So when you face situations like this, which you don't expect start happening, if you feel depressed, if you feel shocked, if you feel dejected, if you get a heart attack, or if you start blaming everybody else or doing all negative things, you will never be able to come out of that situation. Somebody is doing a PhD, there was a big problem, the paper didn't get published, or guide said something, or something stopped, scholarship stopped. If you get dejected and depressed, you cannot do anything. You should have the grit, courage, strength. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. You have to be tough enough to face the extremities. Sita, Ushna, cold and heat. अरे बहुत heat हो गया तो, and again in winter it will be cold. बहुत cold हो गया होता है. Sita, Ushna will होता है, and Sukha Dukkhas also. Then nobody will be eternally happy and nobody will be eternally unhappy. And nobody will continuously praise you or nobody will continuously condemn you. Sama Shatrau cha Mitra. What about Shatrus and Mitras? Because there are no permanent Shatrus. Upakarikin upakaramu viparitamu gaduseya vivarimpanga apakarikin upakaramu nepamennaka seyuada ner parisumati. There are no permanent enemies in this world. If you help or if you give benefit to your enemy, then your enemy will become your friend. If you help your friend, he will not become anything more, but he will remain a friend. But if you help your enemy will become friend. Upakarikin upakaramu viparitamu gaduseya vivarimpanga apakarikin upakaram nebamennaka seyuada ner parisumati. So how to turn an enemy into a friend is by being friendly to the enemy. So samas shatrau cha mitre cha. Shatru and mitra equal, therefore. Tatha manapamanayo. Similarly in exaltation and insults. Okay, now very important statement here. There are two types of people who are encountering us. One category who will go on praising you. Arey bahut acha hai, tu to great aadmi hai, ye kiya, wo kiya. You are Indra, you are Chandra, you are whatnot. And the other category who will criticize you. अरे क्या बोलता है प्रभु साहब, क्या लेक्चर देता है, साहब बेकार है ये, this, that, all that. In fact, in my IIT days, when I was teaching yoga in IIT hostel, there were some people who were against yoga itself. So they were telling, what this Prabhu is teaching yoga इतना खराब चीज है, इतना damage हो जाता है, body पूरा ये हो जाता है. I don't know what to say. I kept listening to it without answering. Such people are always there. So, in fact, who is actually helping you? The criticism is helping you or praise is helping? Criticism is helping. Only criticism will help you. Praise will not help you. Because those who are criticizing you, if there is even 1% of truth in their criticism, you can act by taking it as a feedback and you can improve yourself. But those who are praising you, they are praising for a different purpose they have in mind. They want to praise you so that you will become falling into their trap. They can manipulate you later. So that is why he is now explaining being equanimous, mature enough to be equanimous with mana and apamana. Nothing will be permanent. Sometimes mana, sometimes apamana. Now, if you become a big shot, I became Director General, but it is only till I am in that chair. The moment I walk out, I am not Director General. I am only ex-Director General. Minister. I know some ex-ministers coming to me and requesting me so many things. Finished. At that point of time, there will be great people. Next point of time there will be somebody else. Tama tama nelavalu dappina tama mitrule shatrulu. That's why equanimity is what is important. Equanimity to ups and downs. Tulya ninda stutir mauni. Tulya means equal. Ninda means abuse. Gali dena. Stuti is praise. Arey bahut bada aadmi hai, bahut acha aadmi. And tulya ninda stutir mauni. Mauni is being silent. Santushta yena kenachit. He will be equal to all these three categories of ninda, stuti and mauna. Avi aniketa sthiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha. A bhakta who is aniketa is not affected by all such things, sthiramatihi, but fixed in his personality. Such a bhakta is my beloved bhakta. So now the last sentence. Ye tu dharmyamrutamidam.
Ye tu dharmyamrutamidam
Yadhoktam paryupasate.
yadhoktam paryupasate
Shraddhadhana parama.
Shraddhadhana paramat parama
Bhaktaste ativa me priya.
bhaktaste ativa me priyaha.
Okay, mute your mic. So now he is now saying those who follow this dharma. He has used the word dharma. For all the above characteristics or principles of living, he has used the word dharma, amruta dharma, dharmya amrutam, the nectar, the amrut dharma which I told you, yadhoktam, as I told you till now, pariupasate, those who practice that, do upasana that thoroughly, shraddhadhana, with dedication to me, mat parama shraddhadhana, with highest transcendental dedication to me, those bhaktas, they ativa me priya, they are more, much more, and maximum beloved to me. All are bhaktas, but all are not equal. The whole population, atheists may be a very small percentage. Of course, now it is increasing to a large percentage. All others are bhaktas. In all religions, in all countries, in all societies, they are bhaktas, but not all same. So who is a superior bhakta? Bhakta means a devotee. A devotee to Lord. Who is a superior person? A superior bhakta is a person who adopts and follows and practices the principles above. Then there's a fundamental question whether these principles have to be adopted and learned and put into practice by efforts, or they will automatically come. For some people, they automatically come. Some children are automatically saintly. Some of them may be automatically there. Some of those principles may be automatically practiced. Some of those principles you may have to adopt by putting efforts and developing the culture of that kind of lifestyle. Yama niyamas are meant for that only. And Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavad Gita is also telling that only. In fact, the same principles of ethics and morality are being explained in every single scripture. Not only Hindu scriptures, but also non-Hindu scriptures. You take Buddhist scriptures, you take Jain scriptures, you take Sikh scriptures, you take even Christian scriptures, you take Muslim scriptures. Everybody will tell moral, ethical behavior, pious behavior as the mandate for human life. And in the Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, the Yama Niyamas are exactly that. And in the later chapters of Bhagavad Gita also, those ethical values are being evaluated in a big way, and all put together is called Dharma. And that's why the name Dharma Yoga is what we have given to our framework of common framework. And here in 12th chapter also he has used word Dharma, Amruta Dharma. Yetu Dharmya Amrutam idam. Idam, this Dharma which is Amruta. He has explained if you behave like that, then you are going to be enjoying yourself, your life, and make others also enjoy their life, and will reach higher and higher levels of existence and the whole society and for humanity. Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su.
इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
उपनिषत्सु
उपनिषत्सु
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
योगशास्त्रे
योगशास्त्रे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
भक्तियोगो नाम
भक्तियोगो नाम
द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
Right, now we'll open for discussion or clarification or questions.
Yes, anybody has questions, please put on.
Sir, why human is in Maya when we have to do the like Namasmarana or be devotional with all the time? Hello?
Your mics.
Is it audible?
Audible. Speak
Sound
slowly and loud.
थोड़ा स्लो बोलो और साउंड आ रहा है सुरेंद्र का आपका.
Okay, sir.
सॉन्ग का साउंड आ रहा, सॉन्ग्स आ रहे.
सर अभी क्लियर है?
आप बोलिए.
हेलो सर अभी क्लियर है?
Somebody else?
उनका प्रश्न ये था कि माया में रहते हुए भी जो है जप वगैरह कैसे करना या भगवान का ध्यान कैसे करना.
हाँ, माया तो अनिवार्य है ना. You are always in Maya. You can't escape Maya. So you cannot say I am in Maya, therefore I will not do. माया में है बोल के इसलिए करना बोल के बोल रहे.
Why human in माया, माया में क्यों है बोल के बोल रहे.
माया में नहीं है तो पैदा ही नहीं होते. ह्यूमन बीइंग पैदा हुए तो पैदा होने से उसी क्षण से माया में फंसे हुए. तो ये भगवान का साधना करना एक ही मार्ग है माया से बाहर निकलने के लिए. मम माया दुरच्छया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते माया मेताम तरन्ति ते. मेरा माया दुरच्छया, किसी को उसको क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते हैं जब तक मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते, जो मेरे को उपासना करते हैं केवल वो लोग मुझे पहुंच सकते हैं.
Okay, anybody, any question?
Sir, Prabhu sir,
Yes.
how many lifetimes will it take to reach God through bhakti?
It depends. There is no fixed response answer to this question. You can reach in this life also. It depends on how intense bhakti you have. If you are taking it lightly, then you will get next life because you are more interested in worldly matters. Whatever desires you are having, which are unfulfilled by the time of death, you will get a next life for fulfilling those desires. So if you give up all desires, and if you have only one desire, that is to reach God, that is to be absorbed in God, like the first category of bhaktas, Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim nimeshe nivasishyasi mayeva. You live in me, you keep your mind and buddhi fixed in me, you live in me ata urdham, very high level. You will become one with God in this life itself. In fact, even while being alive, it is possible to get moksha. That is called Jivan Mukti. Next question.
Anyone, any questions? If there is, when we do sadhana, always disturbed by desires of family.
Correct. That's why he has given you 4 different options. You take any one of those options and go to the next option next. Like we have our green zone, orange zone, and red zone. तो रेड जोन में ऑरेंज जोन में आ सकते हैं 21 दिन के बाद, कोई केस नहीं हुआ तो ऑरेंज जोन से आप ग्रीन जोन में जा सकते हैं 21 दिन के बाद एक केस नया है तो। इसी तरह यहाँ पे भी है, आप 4th कैटेगरी में है तो 3rd कैटेगरी में जा सकते, 3rd कैटेगरी से 2nd कैटेगरी जा सकते, 2nd कैटेगरी से 1st कैटेगरी जा सकते। 4 कैटेगरी दिया उन्होंने, सब लोग कवर हो जाते इसमें। टोटल वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन विल बी कवर्ड इन 4 कैटेगरीज।
Yes, anybody?
Which is the easiest way in Bhakti Yoga, sir? Like bhajan or chanting, whatever.
Yeah. Hello, Nascheva, Atiranyatha. Namasparana, always chant the Lord's name and keep your mind absorbed. While doing so, you can also discharge your worldly responsibilities with detachment to the result, but with full dedication to the work. Your mind should be in God. Like Ramakrishna Paramhansa said, if you go to some new place, then first आपको कहीं जाके आपको रुकना पड़ता है, आपके सामान रखना, क्या आपको रूम रहना, आपको कमरा होना, कुछ तो भी रहना, नहीं तो आप रोड पे पर घूम नहीं सकते। तो इसी तरह यदि आप अपने ठिकाना जो है अड्डा जमान आप भगवान में कर दिए, your mind and intellect are always in God, but you are also doing all other things. छोटा मोटा ये सब छोटा मोटा चीजें हैं, जो कुछ भी हम कर रहे हैं सब छोटा मोटा चीजें हैं, वो कर सकते हैं। मुश्किल चीज है कि भगवान के अंदर मन लगा के रखना। आप जितना रख सके, जितना नाम अंदर जापने से कोई ना रोकेगा आपको। आप कोई भी नाम ले लो, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, अंदर जापते रहो नॉन स्टॉप। या आप बोले ओम नमो नारायणाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, जो कोई नाम आपको अच्छा लगेगा। हमारे लोग क्या करते, सबका नाम उसी नाम लगाते। अभी ब्रिजभूषण बोले तो कौन है? ब्रिजभूषण बोले तो कृष्ण है, कृष्ण भगवान है। मेरा नाम तो श्री राम प्रभु लगाया गया है। मेरे को जो बोलते हैं आप तो प्रभु है बोलते, मतलब भाई तो मेरा नाम प्रभु है, तो इसलिए नाम ऐसा लगाते कि वो नाम बोलने से नाम स्मरण हो जा रहा है, वो पुण्य जा रहा है, पुण्य आ रहा है, पुण्य खाता में जा रहा है। तो चैंटिंग कलौ नास्चैव गतिरन्यथा नाम स्मरणाद अन्योपाय। नाम स्मरण इज द बेस्ट easiest method, and next level is kirtan, next level is puja, next level is japa, next level is dhyana, meditation, next level is samadhi. आप समाधि में देह को छोड़ दिए तो आप मोक्ष मिल जाएगा, आपको सीधा वैकुंठ में चले जाएंगे आप। और कोई?
Anybody else? Last question. Yes, properly open the mic and
send a message.
or you can send a message. Hello.
Sir, as you told, when we practice bhakti and take namasmarana, will be different within the society, and they will see in a different way to us.
Different, good or bad?
हमें डिफरेंट, मतलब लो कुछ भी नहीं पता, इसको संसार के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता, लाइट उसके पास ही नहीं जाना, like that they will keep aside to us, they will keep us aside.
No, that's not true. वो गलत फहमी आपको, आपके मन के अंदर क्या चल रहा है कोई नहीं जानता। ओके, आप मन के अंदर जप करते हैं, आप कौन जानता क्या कर रहे हैं? नोबडी विल नो। आपका क्या सोच हो रहा है, कैसे भावना आ रहे हैं, क्या थॉट्स आ रहे हैं, नोबडी विल नो, इट्स इम्पॉसिबल। तो आप हमेशा जितना तक हो सके अपना मन जो है, कभी भी मन को भगवान के ऊपर लगा के नाम जब स्मरण करते रहेंगे तो आपके अंदर बहुत परिवर्तन हो जाएगा. यू विल बी डिवाइन इन योर पर्सनैलिटी. आई विल टेल यू मेनी एग्जांपल्स. एक आदमी है मेलबोर्न में, एक आदमी है, एक प्रोफेसर है, राजकुमार भुइया. बहुत बड़ा प्रोफेसर है, दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा आदमी है. लेकिन वो आदमी कंटिन्यूअस नाम जापते रहता है. वो इस्कॉन का बहुत बड़ा एक्टिविस्ट है, लेक्चर भी देते रहता है मेलबोर्न इस्कॉन. हमेशा वो ऑफिस को भी जो है हरे कृष्ण बोलते आते रहे. कोई ने कुछ नहीं बोलता उसको. वो नंबर 1 है कंप्यूटर टेक्नोलॉजी में. मेरा खास दोस्त है, मैं भी गया उधर. वो जब मैं उसको बोला मेरा बेटा को बिट्स पिलाने में जॉब मिल गया, वो बोला है मेरे को क्या मालूम है, आप नाम स्मरण करते रहिए, आपका काम हो गया है, आपका कोई रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, आप केवल अपने मन भगवान के अंदर रखिए. दैट इज ऑल. इट इज नोबडी इज गोइंग टू स्टॉप यू. कोई आगे बोलेगा क्या सोच रहा है, क्या भगवान का नाम सोच रहा है. हिरण्यकशिप वाज डूइंग दैट ऑन प्रहलाद. आपका है कोई आदमी ऐसा नहीं है हिरण्यकशिप का जैसा राक्षस. आजकल कोई नहीं है इधर.
वो
आप
वैसे सेम ऐसे आया. What to do if we are disturbed in all time for no reason? एक क्वेश्चन ऐसी था उसमें.
Disturbed by whom? You are disturbing yourself or others are disturbing?
For no reason. वो दूसरे भी हो सकते, खुद भी हो सकता. That was from Megha Oja. One question.
Okay. You have to work out undisturbed or less disturbed or restrictedly disturbed situation. If you are talking of babies and children who are disturbing you, that is okay. But at least some time you have to work out to chant. In fact, along with that same person, the baby or child, उनसे भी करो बैठा के. फैमिली मेंबर सब बैठ के एक 15-20 मिनट नाम कीर्तन करो. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. और जो कोई हनुमान चालीसा, जो कोई आप मैं बचपन से करते रहा. In fact, many people do this every day in their house, just like they do yoga for half an hour, 1 hour. They also do kirtan. They sit together and they chant the Lord's name, or they will put a tape, audio tape, or whatever, video or whatever. And Bhakti TV is there, and you have TTD TV. So many channels are there. They are doing this. ललिता सहस्रनाम रोज पढ़ रहे शाम में. तो ये सत्संग जो बोलते हैं पुण्य कर्म है, ये सब पुण्य कर्म है. कीर्तन, जप, ललिता सहस्रनाम, विष्णु सहस्रनाम, सब जो कुछ भी है ये सब पुण्य कर्म है. ये चलते रहना चाहिए. That is your duty to organize it in your own house. In your own house, in your own cultural framework, whatever is appropriate, you have to organize it yourself. Just like when I was in Melbourne, I was teaching Gita for 1 hour. People were coming and listening. Why am I teaching you now? For the same purpose, to create that environment. Achha, I want to ask you a question. Who is creating the environment around you? You are creating the environment around you. You should not allow others to create the environment around you. You should create the environment around you. You should be able to. You should be able to influence your babies or children or brothers or husband. An incompetent fool will get influenced by the environment always. A competent leader will influence the environment by himself. He will lead the society around him. He will lead the environment.
Sir, there is one more question. As you mentioned that everyone should fulfill their responsibilities in life, regard to the family, etc. Wanted to know how it applies to a yogi who takes the path of sannyasa.
That we have already told. The people who are attending this lecture session, nobody is a sannyasi here. All are grihasthas. So we are not. Yeah, sannyasis are very few monks who have renunciated this world who have gone into the monasteries where food is arranged, where many restrictions, rules are followed in the mutt or ashram. They go and live there. In this gathering, nobody is like that. All are in their houses. They are grastas. So there is no problem. You have to discharge your responsibilities. In fact, I would put it this way. You can discharge your responsibilities in a better fashion if you become religious, if you become divine, if you become godly. Otherwise, let me explain to you very clearly. All the people are wasting their time with all kinds of nonsensical activities. Do you realize this? You just observe carefully. People are blaming each other. They are abusing each other. They are fighting with each other. In fact, somebody asked me, only after the corona came, everybody will talk about corona. Before that corona came, if you open the TV or watch the newspaper, there are continuous politics of blaming each other, abusing each other, accusing each other. You know, उनको गाली देता, उन्होंने इनको गाली देता. ये सब क्यों बंद हो गया? क्यों बंद हो गया ये सब अभी?
कोरोना से.
Yeah, so मतलब ये सब बेकार चीजें हैं. Not required. अभी गंगा भी प्यूरिफाई हो गई कहते. Automatically. और ओजोन लेयर भी बंद हो गए कहते automatically.
From Jalandhar and all that, they are able to see the Himalayas.
Yes. So many things have happened. मैं टैंक बंड जा रहा हूँ रोज सुबह, वहाँ पे डक्स, सारे डक्स और ये सब मिल रहे टैंक बंड में. पहले कुछ नहीं था. पक्षियाँ कोई नहीं.
If any mantras, if we want to chant, do we have to sankalpa under Guru?
Yeah, I'll come to that. Let me finish this answer. Very important point I want to tell all of you. I'll give you my own example in the office and in the house also. My own example. In my office in NIC, Burgul Ramakrishna Bhavan, I came as head of that unit in 2000 from Chennai.
Yes.
And when I came, I was the state informatics officer. I had some 250 people reporting to me. 150 were in Hyderabad, the rest were in districts. So, in the first few weeks, I found that people there were fighting with each other. They were fighting against me. They were revolting against me as a boss. And they were fighting with the state government customers. And they were reading novels. And they were doing all kinds of things in the office, except work. So what should I do? I conducted a program of Gita lecture like this, just like you, for the office people, every week for 1 hour. And then they all told me that if they listen for 1 hour, they are able to be very happy peaceful for 1 week. So again, after 1 week, I start again. So I did it for 2.5 years. And I made them visit Ramakrishna Mission also.
Yes, sir.
By doing all this, they completely transformed. At the same time, I put a lot of pressure on work. Project karne ka hai. And yoga class also conducted in the morning, in the evening, in the top of the terrace.
Yes, sir.
Believe it or not, they transformed so positively. The work, big projects were done. E-Panchayat project करे. जो लोग नहीं करते थे, हमेशा झगड़ा करते थे, आपस में और बॉस के ऊपर गाली देते थे और नॉवेल्स पढ़ते थे ऑफिस में और क्या कार्ड्स भी खेलते कि क्या क्या करते नहीं मालूम. ऐसे लोग जो है बहुत अच्छे बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स करने लगे. By hearing to Gita, by hearing to Upanishads once in a week. This is now called a new type of management. It is called knowledge management, wisdom management. It is called wisdom management. It is now a new big subject of research in management departments all over the globe. They all came to ISB one day for a big conference on this wisdom management. I told this as a case study. They said, how do you know? I said, I already know since childhood. So actually, all the fights and negative interactions in the family members, inside the family or between families, between brothers, some brothers go to the court and fight with each other for property. All these things happen because of lack of spiritual outlook. Let me be very frank. धार्मिक बुद्धि नहीं होने से ये सब होता है। ये नेगेटिव इमोशंस जो है, अहंकार, ममकार, राग, द्वेष, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद, मात्सर्य, इसी से जो है पूरा कहानी चलता है। पूरा महाभारत इसी में हुआ है। तो ये जो नेगेटिव इमोशंस, अहंकार, ममकार, राग, द्वेष, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद और मात्सर्य, इनको पूरा बंद करके उनके जो ऑपोजिट है, अहंकार के ऑपोजिट विनयम, हम ह्यूमिलिटी, क्रोध के ऑपोजिट लव, प्रेमा, लोभ के ऑपोजिट दान, चैरिटी। सो इस तरह जो ऑपोजिट्स है वही धर्म है। सेरेनिटी, रेगुलरिटी, एब्सेंस ऑफ वैनिटी, सिंसिरिटी, सिंप्लिसिटी, वेरासिटी, इक्वानिमिटी, फिक्सिटी, नॉन इरिटेबिलिटी, अडैप्टेबिलिटी, ह्यूमिलिटी, टेनेसिटी, integrity, nobility, magnanimity, charity, generosity, purity. Practice daily these 18 ETs. You will soon attain immortality. You will abide in infinity and eternity. And you cannot learn this in a university. So these positive qualities have to be imbibed. If you imbibe these positive qualities, automatically your problems will be overcome. All problems, believe it or not. Krishna will take care of all your problems. Means what? Your negative qualities are your problems. When you remove your negative qualities and replace with positive qualities, dharma, amrita dharma, then automatically you will get success in your profession, in your family life, in your relationships. आप करके तो try करके तो देखिए.
जी. This I am trying a small way. In the morning, this corona with my building small children, I gathered them. तो रोज अभी 2 weeks से ऊपर जो है टेरेस पे आई एम टेकिंग क्लासेस. Naturally, some children are very naughty, some children are doing गड़बड़ and all that. But रोज हनुमान चालीसा, some mantras I am making them, and then slowly they are making. now उल्टा मेरे को बोल रहे और जल्दी उठ के आते शरबत. They say.
Yeah, abhi children who are not taught all these things, when they grow up, they will ask parents, मेरे को क्यों नहीं बताया, मेरे को क्यों अच्छा काम, अच्छी चीजें नहीं पढ़ाया. तो
Okay, sir.
बहुत जल्दी.
Shall we stop it?
So I think there was one last question, whether mantropdesham all to be taken, right? Can you repeat that question?
Any mantras if we want to chant, do we have to sankalpa under guru?
That's way. That is the correct procedure. If you can manage that kind of a guru procedure, that's the correct procedure. But in case you cannot manage under the corona circumstances, then you can do independently also by chanting that mantra. See, one of the, I told you already many mantras. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is the easiest and most popular mantra, which can easily be chanted. But keep your mind meditating on Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana. So the second mantra is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Means वो जो देव हर जगह में वास्ता है. वासुदेव means जो निवास करता है हर जगह में. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो नारायणाय, ओम नमो वेंकटेशाय, ओम नमो रामाय नमः. All these mantras are good. And now today, I think somebody asked Narsimha mantram. I told you in the beginning. I'll again close now by chanting the mantra.
That was the one question they wanted, that mantra. Or Nitesh or somebody abhi sir chant karenge, we'll end with that. And
Yes.
somebody you just write and post it. Those who they want to chant it today, they will do.
तो अंग्रेजी में बहुत गलत हो जाता है. आप तेलुगु या हिंदी में करें तो अच्छा है.
जी.
Okay. I will start now. We will chant for 5 times or 10 times. Ugram Mahavishnum.
Ugra Mahavishnum.